Feather River Mills Hotel Incentive, presented by Robin Bertagna. Final presentation.
We have professional agreement afterwards.
What? For her.
Oh, for her.
Good evening. The developers for Feather River Mill Hotel reached out to city staff and requested that we reevaluate the existing agreement that is currently in place. Let me start with a little bit of background. The proposed site for this new hotel here in Yuba City is at 400 Bridge Street. The land is owned by the redevelopment agency successor agency. It has significant contamination issues. Phase 1 would be a 90-room hotel. The prior agreement was approved April 10th, 2018. The terms of the prior agreement that's currently still in place was for a 10-year period, and in year 1, 100% of the TOT tax, transient occupancy tax, would be rebated back to the hotel operator. In years 2 through 10, it would be 50%. The maximum reimbursement was to be $750,000. The net estimated city share, $1,820,000, and that was over the 10-year period. The revised terms of the proposed agreement before you tonight for consideration is for a term of 15 years, with 100% less $100,000 being rebated back the first year, and then 30% being rebated back in years 2 through 15, with a maximum reimbursement amount of $1,250,000 and a net estimated share to the city of $5.6 million. Significantly different items that have changed since that agreement was approved in April of 2018. The average room rate for hotels here in Yuba City have increased, and the occupancy rate has also increased. I think a large part of that is somewhat attributable to the campfire and people doing debris removal, contractors doing work up in that area. All the hotels in Butte County and in the surrounding communities are pretty well full these days. Benefits to the city: cleanup of the contaminated property, avoiding future costs paid by the general fund currently, development of hotel phase 1, property tax revenue through the RPTTF, which stands for Redevelopment Property Tax Trust Fund. That's how former redevelopment property tax is distributed back to the city and other taxing entities. Sales tax revenue from a gift shop or potential small snack shop within the hotel development, and then increased TOT revenues 70% in years 2 through 15. With that, I will answer any questions that council may have.
Through the mayor, is the cleanup for the entire property or just the property that the hotel would sit on?
I'm going to look at Diana and defer to her. She's been more involved in the cleanup aspect of the contamination down there in the town center.
So the agreement with Mehmet Noyan would be that the property transfer to him and he'd be responsible for cleanup of the entire property. One thing that we're looking at right now is whether or not he can phase the cleanup so that he can clean up phase 1 associated with the hotel, store it on phase 2, and then once phase 2 moves forward, he would remove the contaminated material from the entire site. He's looking at that option. He's also looking at just cleaning phase 1 and hauling the material off-site. So we have a conference call this Friday to discuss those options further, but ultimately he would be responsible for the cleanup of the entire site.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. All right, we have time for public comment. I do have one card here, Simon Gill. You need a award for your patience tonight.
Hey, Simon Gill, small businessman, resident of Yuba City for 30 years. We're doing the Spring Hill Suites Marriott on Woodward Street, Highway 99 and 20. And looking at some of the notes that were in there, they saying that the same case scenario would not be used on other hotels that will come in after this one. And we're looking at it that we've been starting this project back in 2016. Went through all the entitlement process, use permits already in, and we're just looking for the same level playing field as this project is. We do have a lot of burdensome with Highway 99 improvements that's put on by us from Caltrans. The improvement on Woodward Street for the sewer, water storm drains, and curbs gutters. It is a public road. Still working on the future Civic Center Boulevard. Don't know what's going to happen there. That was put upon us. And we are building a 8,000 square feet conference center. I did approach the city council April of 2018, and some of the suggestions were if we could purchase the 2 homes to make the conference center larger. And we did end up purchasing those 2 homes to make the conference center bigger. And that would somehow work out a plan to get TOT or some kind of assistance with the project. That's it.
All right. Do you have a timeline or anything on your project, sir?
So what's kind of held it up was just financing was a big burden.
Yeah.
City Yuba City, they don't know what the demand generators are. As everything we went through today, we don't know what's coming up, and the city's not really expanding at a fast pace for the banks to look at it. Considered a Class C city, not an A or a B. So those things are really affected to get the property off the ground. But I think I finally found a home for it, and we have restarted up the blueprints and everything, and be filing an extension for the use permit, and hopefully can break ground. If everything goes smoothly by next year.
Well, that's good news. Did you have a comment or a question?
Can you clarify in the location again? Where did you say that?
It's Highway 99 and 20. It would be behind Spurbeck's Nursery, between
Oh, okay. No,
2.1 acres back there.
2.9. Okay.
A couple houses that go with it also.
Okay. Good to hear. Thank you.
It's exciting to hear about your project. Not going to be able to make any promises, but I think you'll find that this council is supportive of getting together with you in a way that makes sense for both the city and your project. Appreciate your interest.
It's great to hear what the city's been doing for the last 6 months with all the impact fees and all. At least you guys are all talking about it and assistance with this project on Feather Mills. At least it gets movement and then some action from everyone.
Well, we're definitely looking
Proactive.
forward to talking and hearing from you. I haven't heard anything about the project in months. And so to hear you here today or see you here today is encouraging. Like Vice Mayor said, we can't make any promises, but we're definitely open to discussions.
No, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for coming. Any further public comment on the item? All right, bring it back to council.
Through the mayor,
Yes, sir.
I did coordinate with Robin with regards to some additional language we'd like to add to the resolution to make clear that this is not a gift of public funds, and it's part of the TOT is being done as part of the remediation process. And if it's okay with the council, I'd like to read that into the language.
Yes, please.
Thank you. It would add a new number 1 to the resolution to read as follows. The city council finds that approval of the agreement is warranted as it furthers the public interest and has a public benefit and purpose. It provides for a mechanism to remediate known contamination issues and allow for development of the city and former RDA property, and also includes the public benefits and purposes as set forth in Section 3 of the agreement, which is incorporated by reference. Thank you.
And I'd like to make that motion for
Thank you.
what he said.
All right, so you want to,
I thought we were.
we're done? Did you have, we're going to make a motion. Did
Oh,
have
are you?
something?
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have.
Unless you wanted to
I
say
think
more.
I had one eye nap. I
If
just,
you want to make more comment, go ahead.
yeah, I just wanted to, I love the fact that we're wanting to expand and develop. I just want to, voice about the cleanup is approximately over $1 million to clean up this particular land. And so when we're looking at future development and we have issues like this, and we know a developer's interested, I like to hope that we get that certainty that the developer and the investors are understanding what they're getting themselves into. So just would like to have that on the record. And, but I hope that we can get this going as well. Thank you.
All right, so I believe we have, thank you. I think we have a motion to approve. Correct?
Second.
Yeah,
Point of clarification, Mr.
yes.
What Councilman Cardoza was approving was the change over here, but we still do not have the approval.
Approve the original.
Oh,
So
okay,
can you expand on your motion?
okay. Staff's recommending to discuss and consider the approval of the City of Yuba City. Occupancy, taxes, I didn't bring my glasses tonight, reimbursement agreement, and Yuba City Hotel LP to incentive operations of the Holiday Express on the former Feather River project site. Approval of this agreement supersedes the replacement of 2016 agreement. 18, all right, I'm blind.
Plus what our city attorney
Plus what
said.
The attorney said.
All right. I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you, Robin. We're almost there.